What is this book about? What's your thesis for the book Torah for Gentiles?
I think that's a good question, because when you're doing a study like this, you're just looking at the piece of data, your own topic, and you have to be really careful about where you take it from there. This is about the Didache. This is not necessarily the teaching of the New Testament. Now, I believe it is completely congruent with the teaching of the New Testament, but nevertheless, one needs to be clear. This is what the writers of the Didache wrote. We don't even know who they are, except they must have been Jews and they were writing with Gentiles in mind. We know that it was what they wrote, and it was a discipleship manual telling the Gentiles how they ought to live. It uses a paradigm from the Hebrew Bible that we see especially in Deuteronomy 29, 30, 31, with Moses saying, I set before you the way of death, and the way of life, and the way of death, the way of blessing, the way of curses. And the Didache uses that, and it uses the Mosaic, Hebrew terminology, way of life and death, which links it particularly to the Torah and tells you that these are people who have the Torah in mind. And then as it teaches it, it is clearly not trying to say that the Torah is in every respect specifically applicable to its audience, the Gentile audience. So there are many things it doesn't discuss, but it addresses primarily the issues that they were facing in their life. So when the book is written, it is written specifically to see the connection in the minds of the authors between discipleship and the way a person should live if they are on the way of life, and on their beliefs about the Torah. And clearly they believe the Torah is still relevant, and still relevant to everybody on earth, including their Gentile audience, because they use Torah, they use the language of Torah in explaining how everyone should live.